Hey everybody, this is Deven Vasco with Homeschool House Calls. We are doing our 14 days of curriculum and my top curriculum picks. We're out of the house today, so I decided to go ahead and pre-record a whole bunch because our air conditioner went out. So if you hear noise, all the kids are with me. We're kind of hanging out at my church for a little bit. Luckily, they like me and they'll let me do that, but glad they like me. But anyway, today we're talking about kindergarten curriculum picks. These are some of my favorite ages as preschool and kindergarten. If you've seen my preschool one, just know that kindergarten's not much more. Just depends on your child. So remember, less is more with kindergarten. You're wanting an hour or less of actual sit down work. You want lots of creative play. I will probably do a separate video just on creative play after I finish with this series because I know a lot of times people ask and I am taking that creative play idea and kind of morphing it into something I call independent, directed independence for Lacey, who is going into second grade. You know, my baby is a second grader. My oldest is 21 and in college. So I've been around for a while with homeschooling. This is our 19th year, and I've got a ways to go. So anyway, the first thing, if you want to scope and sequence, I highly recommend that you go to World Book Typical Course of Study. You can go look at your state standards to see what they want. They're not always easy to read. They don't have it nicely put out there. They're really putting it out there for, their teachers to look at. You can look at that. I feel like sometimes they're fiddly to read. So typical course of study of the World Book, they took all sorts of different districts into their view, combined them and made their own, and I just think it's just easier to follow. So I'll screen share so you can see what it looks like. Let me find that real quick. Screen share. It takes me to Chrome tab. I have to pull it up. It takes a few minutes. It's a little fiddly. So anyway, this is the curriculum guide. You can actually use this as your curriculum and just find things to cover these points. That's completely up to you. Some mamas like that. You can do it. I have ideas about making something for y'all for this, but it will probably take me a little while. It'll be, a couple of years project. So they've got art, health and safety, mathematics, quite a bit. Um, but really don't get overly stressed with these. Many of these will work together. Like when you say, look at the pictures in a book and pretend to read. Some of this they've been doing for many years. So there's a lot of overlap. Science, social science, and then technology. So they've got all those things. Now, I'm going to unscreen share. Now, if you've talked to me at all for any length of time, you'll know the next part. Your first step is you're going to narrow your overwhelm when you're looking at curriculum. You want to ask yourself some questions. Do you want faith based or secular? Do you want online or offline? Now, my sermon in this is for littles, I prefer offline. I'm not against online. My teenagers are completely online. I love learning apps, but this is the time that you want to pay attention for issues. And if they are completely online and you are not actively engaged in their learning, you won't know. So I prefer that their main curriculum be offline. Math, phonics. At this age, they're doing math and phonics. They're not really doing exactly language arts. They're learning to read. I would not, um, we'll get to that. I'll come back to that. So I like the bulk to be offline. So let's talk about my top picks, but let's start with phonics because this is usually the age where people are beginning to learn to read. Um, the first step is you absolutely have to know the ABCs. If you don't know, if your child does not know that, you need to start that, you can't move forward with phonics curriculum yet. Letteroftheweek.com, I'll share that and show you what that page looks like real quick. I will I would start there if they don't know all their sounds yet. You want their sounds. It's not just knowing the names. They need to know their sounds. Let's see. This is wrong thing, Devin. Wrong thing. You are being crazy. They got loud. Hey guys, I'm recording. Did you hear that? They went silent. They forgot. They love me and I love them. So this is the letter of the week. This is what we use. What I used with all of mine when they were little. I would base it. It's very like almost like. Let's see if I can back up and you see that. I want to make sure that you're seeing what I see. If you keep going back to the front page, they have over here on the side, they have sound of the week. So they have the letter of the week. So if they know the letter, you can work on the sounds. And if you go down to the bottom, they have lots of extra stuff with these sounds that you could use instead of a curriculum. I would do this. I mean, I have not used this to teach phonics. There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to use that, it's very nicely done. Just make sure you have readers for them to practice. So this is going over, you want them to learn the letter and the letter sound and what that sound makes. Now, I would not overthink the vowels because a lot of times with vowels, you know, it's got 2 or 3 sounds. Don't overthink that. Just start with the short sound. A, you know, start with that. Don't worry too much over it. They will teach you through a phonics. Now, phonics curriculum, there's lots out there. Explode the code. Many things. I used American Language Series. It is faith-based. That's one thing you will have to look at to see if you want faith-based or secular. Wild Learning may have something. They're coming out with something. There's another secular called, I believe it's Root and Bloom. I'm going to look that up real quick because I don't want you to be steered in the wrong direction. Easy Peasy is free. It has some, but I have not used that program yet. Root and, well, it would be nice if I spelled it right. Root and Blossom, I think. Blossom, either Blossom and I never remember the right Blossom and Root. Okay, that is another one. I'm glad I could figure out and say the right name. So there's lots of out there. Phonics curriculum is great. You can have lots of online things like ABC Mouse, and there's a lot of online things that there's lots of phonics curriculum out there, but your main thing to make sure is that they know their letter sound and they know what that letter is before you start. Once you start, you know, once they know that, you can start phonics. Math, there's Wild Learning Math is where they started. They started with Wild Math, and I have used the curriculum level. That is secular, lots of outside stuff to do. The Good and Beautiful is free. I like free. I mean, I would rather you spend your money on the museum memberships and the field trips and the learning toys and get your curriculum free because most of them are pretty similar. So those are my top picks for this age. In the web channel, you can find how to use the Good and Beautiful on your laptop. Easy Peasy is good. Make it simple, not too much different than preschool, except for possibly adding in phonics. Keep it short. Lacey for kindergarten maybe did 45 minutes tops. Lots of creative play, field trips, all the things. Come back tomorrow. We'll talk about first grade. I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope y'all can hear those. They're having a good time. But anyway, let me know what you need.